everybody. So, with us today is Jim from the Tabletop Engineer. When he was on the stream last time, he mentioned that he enjoyed looking at everyone's craft. So, we kidnapped him back so that we could have a look at more things. And of course, we also have with us Mike from Net1 Videos. How are you doing, gents?
Good, Carl. Thanks.
Great. Doing good, man. Looking forward to this.
Okay. So, let's say hello to everyone in the stream, and then we can start having a look at what we have. And just to remind you, we will be doing call-ins, so we'll start dropping the call link in the chat as soon as we start going over the entries. So in the meantime, hi Charlene, hi David, hi Terraintronics. I know it's the same person, but yeah, whatever. Okay, Michael, hi Quite Cool, Campaign Terrain, good to see you. And, oh, Lisa, Dungeon Matron, hello. Lots of people here today. Earthman Brick and Questboard Terrain, hello people. Mia Geeked, hi. And, oh, we have Crazy Crafter here. Hi Colin, how are you doing? It was good to see Colin streaming again last week. Okay, the incredible Tina Martins. Good evening, ma'am. And Scatter Terrain. I hope everyone is doing great.
Oh, and RJ Models has just jumped in as well.
Oh, hi RJ.
Good group.
Okay, so shall we jump right into and Shifting Lens? Oh, Jared Boom. Good evening,
They're all
sir.
jumping in.
Yeah,
That's great. Well, cool bunch.
yeah. I've been playing with one of Jared's jigs today, and yeah, it's a good jig. Okay, so okay, and we have Lawrence from Dirty Basement Terrain.
This is cool.
Oh yeah, very much. So let's get stuck right in, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know Lisa mentioned that she has a game to attend to in a few minutes, so I suggest we start with her.
Yep.
Mike, could you drop the call link in the chat in the meantime?
Yep. There we go. Call in link. Wink. How do you do?
There.
I'll also drop a link for Lisa's Discord, just in case there's anyone watching who is interested in Lisa's Discord hangouts.
Okay, which happen every Tuesday and every Wednesday and every other Saturday. They're good fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got Lisa's Dangerous Scatter Terrain, which is a sewer, among other things.
Awesome.
I like it. So, Carl, just tell me, can we ask questions, or you just want to know our initial thought on this?
No, everything. I mean, like, especially if Lisa comes on, feel free to ask all the questions, like, or of anyone in the chat.
Michael, I'll let you go first if you have some thoughts.
I mean, I literally did a dungeon sewer a month or two ago. I'm quite curious about how Lisa's done her gooey water effects in the middle. And if I was guessing,
Yep, I was going to say the exact same thing. The green is excellent.
I'm just wondering, is it PVA? I'm going to throw my guess in that, like the water effects is some form of PVA, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
So curious about that.
The green algae, or I guess that's algae that would be growing on the bricks. I like that. That gives it that realistic, and the brickwork is good too. I think I see a pattern. Well, no, I don't. I thought I saw a pattern in it, but it's not. There's no pattern.
There is in fact a pattern, but I think it's very widely spread.
Are they cut? Is it cut from vinyl or something? The bricks.
Yeah, there's some kind of Dollar Tree vinyl strips.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really and I assume these are all parts that can be pulled apart and mixed to create different patterns and stuff.
Okay, Mia just mentioned, I think she used clear acrylic caulking.
clear acrylic caulking. Okay.
There we go.
How were the bricks done? Is it a stamp that was rolled over something, or was it hand pinned or cut?
I forgot what she called them. I think they were some kind of Christmas Village vinyl roads or something like that. I have no idea what it is. It's just like a long strip of textured stuff. But then the paintwork and the stuff is like those white streaks and the greens. Those are all her own.
Tentacles.
Tentacles. Yeah, I mean, that is a players at a table. That's a nice setup because there's plenty of room to put the monsters, and I wasn't expecting that. So that's really nicely done for, if you remove the tentacles, it just looks like a sewer system that you have to sort of get around. I wasn't really expecting the extra tentacles to pop in there. So that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
You know,
yes, Mike?
You go.
No, go
No,
ahead.
you go. Well, one of the details I quite like is the white stuff because I actually missed that in my dungeon sewer, but in a lot of sewers, especially if you've got hard water,
Mhm.
you get like this
calcium
calcification that comes through, and you get these white chalky buildups that happened in sewers. So that's a really good detail, and I totally missed that in my one. So I really like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it looks like Lisa has some trouble connecting to Zoom. That's a pity. But yeah, and Mia saying that's Dollar Tree plastic. Dollar Tree pavement bits. Okay, regarding the white streaks, that's I think we have Earthman Brick to thank for that because as Lisa was building this during one of the hangouts, he was just bringing up reference image after reference image after reference image after reference image.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, it's really good work. Really good work. Oh, look at that. There you go. Now, that's what I was wondering, if it could be rearranged. So
I love that. That centerpiece is really cool.
Okay.
yeah, it's like a drain, right? It's
I think the intention was more like kind of choppy machinery with blades and stuff to nominally it won't clog the sewers and stuff, but okay, one sec.
maybe a trap or
Yep. Okay, hello Lisa, are you in?
says connecting to audio. So
Okay,
there you go.
do we have audio?
Lisa?
Hello.
Hey, yeah, we do have audio. Nominally it won't clog the sewers. Lisa, could you turn off the sound of the stream, please, for a sec?
Got it.
There we go.
Oops.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Jim.
I
How
know
you
this
doing?
lady. I know her. Some good work, Lisa. I like it. I like the. I love
no
the
audio. Hang on.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you fine.
Hey.
But I think you really need to turn on the sound off on the stream, Lisa.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. Got it.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Jim.
I know this lady. Hey, Lisa. I know her.
Where is?
Some good work, Lisa.
If you go to the top of YouTube, the YouTube tab, and you do like a double click on on the bar at the top, you can mute sight, or you could
got it.
just use the. You got it? Cool.
I think so. There's no
Yeah.
echo anymore, right?
Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah,
good.
it sounds fine. Sounds fine now.
No.
Okay, so first of all, how are you doing, Lisa? And next, tell us everything about this.
Okay. I'm good. And I'm so sorry that I have to I have to leave for my game. I would love to see everyone's builds, but got to kill things. It's important. Anyway. So yeah, this is my sewer tiles, my very first set of tiles that I've made. And the one that we're looking at right now with the blades, that is indeed the giant garbage disposal. Underneath all of the tiles is a kind of like a water wheel that, as the water, whatever water does come through, will cause the cogs to turn, and the faster the water goes, the faster the blades will run. So
Okay.
that's the idea behind that. So it's automated, kind of, in a way. If there's no water running, it just doesn't really move. If there's water running, it's running it runs as fast as the water's running. So yeah, the stones are from the vinyl Christmas Village roads that you could get at the Dollar Tree, and then I just painted them up.
The greenery, or the algae, is that just PVA and some grassy?
That's PVA and really minute sawdust. Yeah.
Okay. How do the players turn off the water? Is that part of the game for them to disable the water so they can reveal the trap?
The way that they would have to do it is to get to that water wheel mechanism and jam it or something.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
It sounds
How many
like
of these-
some sort of thing that Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible wants to climb through.
Your mission, Mr. Phelps.
Exactly.
How many pieces did you make? Is this all of it, or did you make more?
No, I made different levels. I made thinner pieces and thicker pieces, the water pieces. So there's actually 4 of the beveled back bits there. There's actually 4 of those. There's 4 of the big square tiles. There's 4 of the regular height half tiles, and there's 4 of the smaller lesser tiles to work as the channels. And there's more to come. I'm going to make corner tiles and turn tiles that have the turn in them and stuff like that too.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
Thank you.
And the tiles aren't the only thing you made, right, Lisa?
That's correct. This is scatter terrain as well, because you can catch a disease. This is dangerous. She could easily catch a disease. She should not be in there, because bad disease.
Nice mimic there.
Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, the mimic tile. I assume that's what that is, a mimic, right? That's getting ready to gobble up.
Oh, you're going out of order, dude. Okay. Yeah, that's a mimic. That's actually not a mimic. That is from original and second edition D&D, the Trapper.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a Trapper.
I like the eyeballs. That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got another picture here where it's there's other eyeballs on the other side too.
There you go.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I have a freaky mind, Tina says.
See,
best kind?
that's the kind of terrain that I like to see, is that you don't place it until the players have triggered it. They go, oh, there's nothing there on that tile, and then they walk on it, and you just sort of let it go, and then a minute later you're rolling dice, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that you used 2 different textures for it and the ground under it. It's like it was, there's no moss growing there because it was covering it.
Exactly.
What did you end up using for the outer skin?
So yeah, I did use the air dry clay, which did crack. If you look at the other picture, you can see the back is cracked a little bit. But then I just went ahead and mixed some flesh tone paints with wood glue and painted that, which actually gave it a really cool shiny effect. And then I made some veins with the red glue stick and with a red glue, hot glue, and then just put it on there with the wood glue. Yeah, see the veins over there? Yeah.
Have you run it? Have you run this?
No, this is literally just finished yesterday.
Oh, I hope your players aren't watching.
No, this is not going to be in today's game at all. This is later.
And what did you use for the ice?
Oh, you know what I use for the.
Are they doll,
No, actually,
doll eyes?
actually, I know what you used for the body, how you build the shape, but I have no idea where you got the eyes from.
The eyes actually were from Dollar Tree baby dolls.
Ah, okay. Actually, I should have known. I should have known better.
Which ended up in your Halloween build, right?
Yeah, it was that. Yes, from the same doll. Yeah, as the Halloween build. Yes, those eyes pop out. They're really great for using for stuff like this because they're really nice. They're very shiny and they're really cool.
And the
I
teeth
love it.
are
I like it.
seashells, yeah?
Those are those also from the Dollar Tree. They came in a little jar, and they're little seashells. Yeah.
Yeah, I recognize those. I saw it. I was like the little twist on. I said, those are those little seashell things.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, this was splendid work, Lisa.
Well, thank you.
My guess
I
is you
did.
probably.
I killed dolls for this, Tina.
My
actually killed-
my guess is all this terrain is probably less than like $5 or $6 is my guess.
Yeah, because even though I have a lovely new Proxon that you helped teach me to use, Jim, I only have expanded polystyrene foam from packing materials, and I
Got it.
did use the Proxon to cut these tiles, but I mean that the expanded polystyrene is free. The
Yeah.
Dollar Tree roads were just $1.25 per pack, and then everything else is exactly like you said. Everything that's in here is from the Dollar Tree. Absolutely, everything.
We
Nice.
need a Dollar Tree in London.
Yeah, for sure.
You could have some. They're on every corner here in America. It seems like. But really, not to knock them. It is a great store for just, you can walk in with $5 in your wallet and you can walk out. And if you spend 10 minutes walking around, you're going to find something that you could convert or tear down. And it's just a really, really nice resource.
Yeah, if I'm not
really
mistaken, these are from the Dollar Tree toys as well, yeah? The tentacle
I
side.
recognize that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is that the Final Faction stuff in the Dollar Tree that's near me is now in the crafting area.
Seriously?
Yes, it's funny.
Yeah, you know what? For the longest time, I would only go to the toy section.
Mhm.
And then I realized that they have a little section for crafting. And I mean, you can go and get wood, like popsicle stick type wood and balsa and
Mhm.
stuff. It's just, they do a good job of keeping stuff stocked.
They do. Yeah, I gotta paint the tentacles still, but yeah, I mean, what kind of build would it be without tentacles, right?
Okay, RJ Smoodle Box is saying, I will no longer look at a doll in the same way again. Yeah, Lisa does have that effect on people, yes.
Yeah.
How often do you do you have a weekly game?
I do. I have a weekly game. I am actually a player in it, not I'm not GMing it. But this weekly game that's coming up is a friend of ours who we've been playing with since 2nd edition.
Okay.
He's GMing, so yeah, gonna have fun.
I like it, Lisa. I like the I thought that was a drain at first, but now that you say it's a grinder, like a disposal, I'm thinking, man, that's pretty horrible.
I actually meant to have a skull. I didn't get around to it. I wanted to get a skull attached to one of the blades. I wanted to have a little skull attached there. But that will have to happen a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, it is a drain, but it's also a, chunky cutter up thingy so that things will drain better. Anyway, yeah, I gotta run, but I thank you guys so much for showing this first. You're very sweet, and it's good to see you, Jim.
Good to see you, Lisa.
Okay, guys.
Okay, you have a
Take
great
care.
game.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
It looks like Chris has just joined the chat. Did Chris enter something in as well?
I am not sure. Maybe I don't think so. Maybe put in a late entry. Hi, Chris.
Let us know in the chat, Chris.
Okay, so let's get back to the items in order. So the first person who actually threw something in the folder was Gazebo Mimic with 2 pieces.
If you are in the chat, Gazebo Mimic, let us know, because Carl and I weren't sure if you had like social, like an Instagram or YouTube or something that you wanted to share a link for. So just let us know in the chat.
Okay, so
Nice.
the first
little
piece is
platform
this
trees.
tree, which is
I'm always envious of people who can do trees and stuff. It's my weakness.
the biggest problem I have is foliage. It's always foliage. Everything else I can figure out. I can never get the foliage right.
I mean, I like it. I like the denseness of it. It's unusual looking, so it gives it that fantasy look. But I mean, anytime I see stuff like this, I'm just like, it never works for me. Just like what you said, I try it and it just looks, in my eyes, it always looks not good enough. But this looks good. I'd put that on some of my tables.
That's lovely. I really like the way it's like the top of the foliage is playable. They had a mini, like, it's like little platforms.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the point of it, because the one of the branches is detachable
Nice.
to make it look like it's collapsed.
Yep.
So it's all 3.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Loop.
And it looks bigger in the picture, but using the mat as a scale, it looks to be only maybe 7 or 8 inches tall. So it's perfect. I mean, I guess it's just a perspective for me. It looks like it should be a bigger tree, but it's for working at that scale, that's pretty good looking. I mean, I couldn't have done it.
Yeah, I mean, the larger
I
or
wonder if that's
smaller
a
scale,
real
that's
limb.
tricky. Say again, if it's a real?
The wood, the trunk. I'm wondering if that's a real piece of wood or something that they made out of clay or something.
I think it's clay, because if you look at the way it's pinned, I don't think you could get it that cleanly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve says, Carl, he quotes Carl, "My biggest problem is foliage." And Steve says, "I heard you can get a cream for that."
Okay, see what cream Steve recommends, and then I'll try to use it on my trees.
Weed killer.
Okay, next one, again from Gazebo Mimic. This looks like most of the playgrounds I used to play with when I was a child.
Yeah, nice and rusty. Tetanus shots for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and of course there are some bits that come off.
Yeah, scale wise, again, it looks to be about 5 by 6 inches wide, 5 inches by 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the highlighting. They when you drop a bunch of junk onto a tile and then you prime it all one color, a lot of times it tends to sort of blend all together, but they've got enough variations in rust and color and some white edging and things that you can actually pick out all the nice bits.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's got a lot of texture to it as well. It's not just
Yeah.
painted. I think there's some
And it looks like there's some intentional flat spots so that you could put miniatures, where they won't tip over.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
the
that
thing
makes
I've
sense,
seen
yeah.
a lot. I've seen people do junk like this, but it's usually in a mound, and if you try to put a mini anywhere on it, it just tips
I
over.
get
So
it. Alright.
keeping in mind that it looks like they may have intentionally left some flat spots.
That makes sense.
Like a newspaper or something. That little white thing right there. Yeah, it
Yeah.
almost looks like a mailbox or a newspaper or something.
Yeah, this kind of the kind of piece that you can just keep looking at it and try to spot what's there. Because this looks like a broken lamppost, for example, or something like that. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what it is, but it's junky. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So Gazebo Mimic, if you're watching, Good job.
Nice
a,
job.
a bit of a dangerous ladder there. That's going to be a recurring theme.
Yeah. Okay, next one up is Steve's paintbrush. Now, Steve is a magnificent mini painter. We've always got this thing, yeah, when his stuff comes up, we've got painting envy.
Hmm.
His modeling is pretty serious too, although, yeah, this is definitely quite disgusting.
He does have a YouTube channel, right?
Yes, Steve's paintbrush.
I'll just grab a link here.
Okay.
Because
Can I see some other views of it?
She can.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of an outhouse with a view.
I love scattered terrain that looks abused and aged and worn properly. It's got a definite the grayness of it, the green grayness of it is nice. It would appeal to me on my table. I also like string. I see he's got some string, for rope.
Mhm.
I always love to use string in my own designs to simulate rope.
He does a lot of stuff with fabrics and stuff like that, like fabrics, paper, and so on to give these layers of texture.
Yeah,
That webbing thing over there, for example, that looks real good.
it does.
it
And
definitely fits the
I like the steps.
MO of dangerous scattered terrain. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
I wouldn't want to even be in the vicinity of this place.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I
might
feel,
catch a disease just by walking past it.
yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at a picture of it and I'm thinking I should get shots or something.
Exactly.
But yeah, again, Steve's paintbrush, always top level painting.
Yeah,
And
I like
that
that.
water
That
looks
good.
disgusting in the best way possible.
Yes. It makes me also want to see some of the other stuff that would go along with this, because this is just one piece and it looks great, but I'd love to see a whole table of stuff like that.
I mean, I have just seen a diorama for the Dagobah system, so I'm thinking that this is Yoda's shithouse in Star Wars.
that could work.
perhaps.
It could fit. It could fit.
So I mean, like, there's a crashed starship or whatever in the
X-wing
background.
over on the left,
And-
yeah.
Exactly, starship, not a starship, obviously.
No, that's good. I like it. I really like it.
Okay, next we have scatter terrain. Okay, I think Meredith is in the chat, so if you want to drop
I
in.
am going to post the link again here. 1 second.
Maybe vats of like radioactive waste.
Or something, yeah, I guess. They definitely look unsafe.
I like it. I'd throw those on my table. Oh yeah, yeah, that definitely looks good.
Coloring's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm presuming, are these bottle caps that have been repurposed, or
Bottle
like
caps
that?
or jar lids, I forgot what exactly, because we were talking about them a couple of weeks ago.
yeah. That looks good. Yeah, the painting definitely. That's some dry brushing. It looks like on the top there to make that white stuff pop out. That's good.
So Meredith says, I'm not in Zoom call place today, but I'm milking this build one more time.
Okay, hope we're doing well, Meredith.
I like it.
Well, let us know in the chat, Meredith, about how you went about painting that.
Okay, if I remember correctly, one of the things was that this build was meant to be sent out to someone, some kind of secret Santa or something of the sort. So one of the things was keeping the weight down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the larger vats, if I remember correctly, are half filled with yarn, so it's not all hot glue all the way to the bottom,
okay.
just to keep the weight down.
Is that what
Nice,
the liney texture is on top?
No, if I remember, that's just the hot glue, I think.
Okay. So Meredith's just typing some stuff. Peanut butter jars, peanut jars, and double broth caps. Green base, white dry brush,
Oh yeah, there we go.
gloss over the top. And the
Oh
metal
man, I
was the
love
black
this.
base with the silver dry brushing.
Okay, the thing in the center was also
Yeah, that's awesome.
scatter train center from the previous build challenge, which was Let There Be Light, and yeah, the rest of the other stuff is yeah.
So the centerpiece at the back, the hot glue one, that does have an LED, right?
Yeah, there's a tea light in the base.
But the two, like, because the two big vats on the left and the one in the back right hand corner, they do look like they're lit up as well. But
No, that's just creative lighting, I think, because those
Yeah.
are that's literally adjustment.
But it's
That's
a
great.
good match to those
Mhm.
goop
Oh yeah,
things that you know, that's one of the things for me. When I play war games, I usually play on a 2x2 area, which this looks to be about 2 foot by 2 foot. It could be a little bit bigger, but I will tell you this: anytime I see colors that you would not eat, you know, I mean, there are certain colors that just our brain just says, I don't care how good it tastes, I don't want to eat that. Colors like this and blues and things, whenever I see a color that I would not want to ever put in my mouth, I like it.
Have you ever heard of the sweet warheads?
The sweet warheads, no.
Like there's a sweet that you can get. It was
candy?
atomic warheads or something like that. Warheads, and it just blow your head off, and it kind of that's what these remind me of.
I love when you have a table that is muted with grays and blacks, and then you have like one or two colors that just are consistent, like the green. I would play on this table. I would set this up and play on this with a science fiction war game of some sort, and I would have a blast with it.
Okay, so scatter terrain is saying the green is green base, white dry brush, and gloss over the top.
Yeah, and those tanks in the back, I love them. I love those tanks. I'm gonna
Yeah.
steal that idea. I'm gonna make some of my own.
Okay, and the canvas are the same green with the gloss, but no white dry brushing.
Yeah, I like the consistent color.
Yeah, it's got this whole unified thing, like you can tell all these things go together.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice work. I like that table.
Oh, and I've just realized that
Hmm?
Meredith does have a YouTube channel I should share. So for anyone who doesn't know,
Yes, scatter terrain.
I'll get a link for that. 1 second. Can't forget that.
Okay, in the meantime, let's see. We have Dirty Basement Terrain, who's a real fun guy.
But he's here every week.
Yeah, he's lovely guy. So, Lawrence, if you want to jump into Zoom, come join us. Tell us about this.
Yeah, I'll send that link as well. 1 second.
It's okay. I can drop it in
Brilliant.
there.
Okay, cool. I'm just dropping Meredith's one here. Boom, done.
Swing. Okay. Now
So this is Lawrence.
Hmm?
What a surprise! It's quite disturbing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, all handmade. I mean, I could be wrong, but everything here looks like it was hand molded, crafted, painted, everything.
I think they started life as Dollar Tree mushroom thingies. I might be mistaken about the brand, but all the texturing and stuff on them is. I think I'm starting to recognize the tentacles from the Final Faction toys as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
These are great.
my players would turn around. They wouldn't walk through a field of that. There's no way. You put those on the table, and the player's like, nope, go
Okay.
around.
Oh, okay, sorry. So Lawrence saying can't do Zoom. Okay, man. But yeah, definitely drop some information in the chat. So a lot of it was the Dollar Tree stuff. Yeah. And
Yeah, I mean, those are big, 3-inch round.
with 19, yeah.
I wonder what kind of stats these guys would be playing. Maybe something similar to a Shambling Mound kind of thing.
I mean,
I don't even think they would need to shamble very much. It's like
it looks like they have a reach. Like, you know,
Mhm.
they could get you if you come within a certain distance, and then the tentacles pull you to their mouth.
Mhm.
Maybe their head is the weak spot. You hit an arrow there and it explodes. Have you ever seen mushrooms? You know, when you stomp on them, they in
The big puffballs, and
Yeah.
then the
and then the
spores
spores get
again.
you.
spores get you. Yeah, yeah.
That's
You could have
cool.
some fun with those.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, as a DM, you pull those out on the table, and you're just
Nope,
players are
nope.
not going to have a good night.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that yep, the dragon can wait, the treasure can wait. We are not going that way.
They would. My players would say, "We're going around." They're not going through that mess. It's nice, 6 of them. So, and that's all you need for a good, you know, for most tables that I see when people are GMing, you know, they might have a 2-foot by 2-foot area to put maps down or terrain down. So you really couldn't fit many more than that in that space and allow the players to have their miniatures moving through it.
Yeah, because these aren't small, like you said. It's like 4 inches.
3
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 by 4 inches. So they're pretty large. So yeah, and
Steve says they look like the tree people from the Lord of the Power Rings film show. Gandalf's, I think they're called.
so yeah, and Lawrence does have a video about how he set these up. So yeah, that should be on his channel, Dirty Base Mentoring. But yeah, love these.
Yeah. The roots. I also noticed the roots. I love the roots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see if I can bring. I think those are. He's got two varieties there, like a simpler one, and then the tentacles also coming out of the ground.
Yep.
But yeah,
Cool.
those textures are some next level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How
I
heavy they
mean,
are.
like they do seem like you just walk into a store and buy them straight off a shelf, if you know what I mean, as opposed to just having been done in a dirty basement.
I mean, if you've seen his other stuff, Lawrence is really good at this kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just surprised
Good.
he didn't go overboard on the detail, because some of the pieces he makes, you can just get lost looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
So lovely work, sir. And moving on to
Oh, also, I need to remember that I keep forgetting to post links for that. So I'll get his YouTube channel as well, because Lawrence now has a YouTube channel.
yeah. Okay, next one up is Quite Cool. Okay, and Quite Cool, if you want to join us on Zoom, just click the link and tell us all about this.
Quite Cool also dropped a pretty quite cool video today.
Yeah, it was about part of building this. Which, this is all expanded polystyrene, so I wouldn't have wanted to be there for the cleanup, but at least he was using hot tools.
Those are some narrow passages, man. You fall off. You wouldn't want to have
So it's
combat on, man.
definitely dangerous terrain. It's quite big scatter.
I think they are modular, I think, at least, so yeah, I would count them as
All those-
scatter, because he's got a picture later on. Let me find that.
I was just gonna say that he must play on a really big board.
Yeah, you'd have to have some room to put that out.
Possibly, I think that is the entirety of the board.
I love
Ah, here they are.
like this scene. Like I love seeing people make this scene. It's
So
going to
see,
be such a cool build.
now I suspect that a lot of the people that make this kind of stuff are playing role-playing games, right?
Biscuit.
But I play a lot of war games too, and I have to tell you, one of the things that most war gamers do not do is they forget that third dimension. They'll put scattered terrain out two-dimensionally on the table that you go around or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but there's not a lot of good stuff out there for, you know, shooting down, right? And I always love looking at stuff like this. It gives me ideas because I like to play on a full 3D wargaming table where there are rules for element height and shooting down or up and things. And so I'm looking at this and thinking, man, this would be fun. Now I have some big stuff like this and it takes a lot of shelf space. But this looks like it sort of breaks down because you showed a picture a minute ago that looks like it could all be sort of disassembled.
Yeah, quite cool. You're in the chat. Jump into Zoom if you can tell us all about this.
Yeah, I need to just drop that chat link
And-
again, just so he doesn't have to go scrolling for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Got it right here.
it does look like there are some parts that are glued to the board for sure, but I think most of it can come apart like this.
Right there, yeah. Look at that. Oh, you know, it does. It gives me some ideas. I'm already thinking, you know, just some modular collapsible stairs and pieces of stonework that go nowhere, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like this arch here is already yeah,
perfect.
you could do a lot of things with that.
This is like a Wayne's World moment where it's like quite cool, not just a clever name.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is for Middle
Yeah, I
Earth
like
strategy
that.
battle game. And I think he mentioned that he would be doing the Bridge of Khazad-dûm next. So yeah, I am looking forward to see that one.
Nice. Oh yeah, see this shot. 1 second. Because like I watched the video earlier on today. Just at the back there were the two minis that are on their own with the little arches.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So a lot of this was just straight up like square polystyrene that was cut and carved, but those are just a really nice use of a piece of packing that was exactly that shape and then just carved a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's just carved in the doors between the those posts.
Yeah.
It was some kind of, I don't know, like monetary packaging or something. I have no idea, but it was yeah, good point, Mike. That it's like using the shape that was already there.
Exactly. My cat is so needy.
Yeah, and it is a long drop from there, so yeah, definitely dangerous.
You can already tell it's going to make a great playable scenario, like with the minis that you set out on it.
And you can tell what's going on. I mean, they're going up the stairs. They think they're gonna get out the exit. Then there's some big creature back there that's gonna fight them. And then they got snipers with arrows coming down from the bottom, shooting up at them. Yeah, that's not a good place to be for a player.
So, I mean, knowing quite cool, he's into similar to myself, Middle Earth strategy battle game. So this will be played with like that kind of set of rules.
Yep.
But if it was a D&D scenario, like whenever I got to the like that edge of that bridge before you turn right on the corner, I'm certain that my character would be like figuring out a way to shoot an arrow into the ceiling to get a rope to try and swing across to make it a lot quicker to get around that way. And I'd probably throw in that one then.
Yeah, at that point,
Yeah,
you're almost asking for it.
Yeah, that's some good use of some foam there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is indeed quite cool. Oh, I just noticed there's a little cave down the bottom here.
And
Ooh.
oh, I did. I posted a link.
Little cave.
Yes, I did. Cool.
Nice. Great job. And next we have Cross from Campaign Terrain. Feel free to jump in and tell us about this, Cross.
Nice.
Here comes the link again, chat link. I'm just going to keep posting a chat link regularly so people don't have to like scroll up through comments.
Awesome, thanks,
to do
man.
it. I really like this. And I had a little think about it because I saw a chat in Discord earlier on between Cross and Daffod just about how potential ways of like breaking it down and building it back up. And I had a little daydream about that as well. So is Cross,
there we go.
Cross, let us know in the chat. Are you going to jump in for a quick chat, or should we do it here in the...
The old crumbling bridge.
Well, I'll just say what my...
Heard it. I know. I called it. I was like, I bet you it's gonna... That is a classic trap. Get the players caught on the bridge or the walkway in combat as it's crumbling. And so not only are they having to fight for their lives, they're going to have to worry about being crushed to death. That is excellent. If you go back to the very first one, I honestly, I did not know that this was breakable. I assumed that was just one piece.
Yeah.
It was when you showed me the leg on the bottom, when it was turned over, that's when I triggered. I was like, I'll bet you this is a collapsible bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, exactly. It's cut very neatly, so it doesn't really it doesn't give you the I mean, okay, this is going to fall over.
well done. That is that's a good piece of terrain right there.
Yep.
I like it.
So on that, let me see. Is Cross going to jump in?
I'm curious about this. I mean, because I don't know if he's going to do a video about it, but I'm really curious about how he cut the pieces that way. Because I'm sure the answer is patiently, but yeah.
He mentioned that he is going to do a video on some of the painting part of this, but he didn't film the build of it.
And he could have just cut the bricks individually and then glued them in the way he needs them to, fit together.
Makes sense, yeah.
Rather than breaking them,
Yeah, there was a little chat between Cross and Daffod from Terraintronics earlier on in Discord, and Daffod made a suggestion of check out the Discord for that chat. But I had a little daydream. Do you ever remember those little toys? Like say it was like a little horse toy, and then you hold it like that, and then you press underneath, and it collapses, and then you let it go again, and it bounces back up again.
It had wires in it, didn't it?
So it had like strings,
yeah,
through it or something, and like then it's got a little spring that kind of pulls it all tight, and then when you compress the string, it collapses. But whenever you uncompress the string, it all goes back to the original position. So like I wonder if that would take some figuring out to do, but
yeah, it would.
Something like that might work.
But my players would never suspect that. If it was assembled ahead of time without them seeing, to me that would just be a bridge, get from A to B. As a player, I don't think I would suspect a collapsing bridge like that. That's well done.
Yeah,
and there's a thing about hiding features in terrain. Like I'm sure a lot of people do it, but I know that the only person I recall doing that specifically in a video was John Lombardi, where he was hiding secret doors in walls. So he just pulled them out and stuff like that. But this way of hiding a trap, this is real genius.
Good.
Just dropping Cross's link in here.
We'll definitely need to look up that chat and definitely talk more about it.
It's quite recent.
Okay, this is what I threw together.
There we go.
Okay, I didn't manage to finish that on time, my bad, so yeah.
That just makes it more dangerous. Not only is it already dangerous, but it's unfinished as well, so, use it at your peril.
Yeah, I was just trying to go for scaffolding and stuff, just the most rickety looking stuff I could make.
You know, this is the kind of stuff that you just can't have enough of, right? I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
you could build an entire, if you have so much of it, you could build an entire scaffolding, game. But it's also great for, like you show there, when you have stonework, especially in a fantasy setting, there's almost always some sort of wood, a ladder, or some sort of
Yep.
platform that's attached to it. And that's really well done. You just can't have enough of that stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, when I posted a picture of the pieces on the Tabletop Crafters Guild earlier, someone mentioned piers. And yeah, I thought that would be a brilliant idea, having the single level one and syncing it up into some water effects. And I think that would make some really good piers or walkways over a swamp or what have you.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely to work more on this.
So I wonder if you could maybe add in some little pinheads and have like some rusty nails sticking out as well, like
Might possibly
even
paint that, but yeah, I generally don't like having terrain that can give people tetanus or stuff.
yeah, you don't want it to actually be dangerous.
Yeah, I think it's definitely missing some weathering. All the wood is the same color, so it's
Yeah,
and usually you don't usually see that. Like whenever you might see a new ladder being leaned up against a graying scaffold, and some of the planks in the scaffolding have been replaced with like cleaner wood, replacement board. So just a little bit of painting or staining or just weathering here and there at different parts would sort of make it look much more realistic.
oh, for sure. And
Um,
like I said, I still have to finish that. And I also want to add some wrapping around the corners.
the ladder.
So
Yeah, that's tricky and time consuming, but it does
I
make
noticed.
make
Yeah.
the details, right? All the details are what sells it.
Yeah, for sure. Now, speaking of
Yeah,
details,
that's nice work.
thanks. Speaking of details, we have Earthman Bricks build coming up next. So let's
Mhm.
see. And the
Nice.
Trap Maker's Workshop.
And my kind of diorama, a tool shop.
Okay, are you joining us,
Nice.
Steve? Because
What was that?
I asked Steven if he was joining us in the
Okay.
call because there is a lot to say about this.
That's nice. I like it. I like the tool. I like the tool pegboard on the wall. That's nice. And the blueprints. The blueprints are nice work. Nice touch.
Yeah, even the grimy window is a really good touch.
Is that a sink to the far left, like
Yeah.
a hand wash sink? Yeah,
It
sure.
I
is
believe
like
it is, yeah.
Steve's, the way he does his details are great.
So,
I
this one,
like it.
next.
That's so good.
There we go.
Oh yeah. It's like where you'd be making things for traps, right? It's
Yep.
a trap. It's the trap engineer designer.
Well, have you ever seen the movie Saw?
Yeah,
It's just what I imagine,
very
like
much. It makes you think of that.
Okay,
his,
Earthman Brick in the
his
chat.
laboratory.
Ah, sorry,
Hello
Earthman Brick.
there.
Hello! How are you
Hello.
doing, my good man?
Not bad. Just finished another build actually. Yeah, it's one for Necromunda. It's the corpse grinder.
Okay.
So
I-
I started that one today and managed to get it kind of done. So it's
Yeah, I mean, I think that also counts as dangerous terrain if you want to throw it in the chat, in the drive.
oh yeah, it's already in there. It's under EMB. So like
Was this
Oh,
one for
from-
Necromunda as well?
No. That's like a more kind of a modern kind of setting one.
Okay.
So be able to use that for like post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
encounters and the such like.
So, do you want to give us a walkthrough of this and
Oh, there's a pistol on the table.
Yeah, like when it comes to like the tools and the pistols, those were I sculpted myself. And I think what was it for the tool board? That was just a rotary hole punched piece of card, and then I sculpted and put on the individual tools and just
Okay.
glued them to that, made a mold of it so I can use it for other builds as well in
Yeah.
future. The blueprints that are on the wall and just hovering over the lower half of the bench there, they're just made up of it's just thin card that I washed with ink and just threw on a few scribbles with some pencil, and that was kind of good enough. You know, so all the kind of other details of wear and tear, that's just, you know, happened as a convenient happy accident. So quite happy with that. The sink I made, that's out like in the toilets video that I did. And speaking of Saw, funnily enough, I'm going to be doing a Saw diorama at one point of
Nice.
the set of the first movie, because the entire first movie is set in toilets.
It's in a bathroom, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need to figure out how to make the shackles and everything tied to the floor and the bodies and the such like. But I'll figure something out or get a close enough approximation anyway.
What did you do for the texturing of the walls and the floor?
You're gonna love this. That's textured wallpaper.
Really?
Yep.
And you just gunked it over with some grays and reds, and
That's it. Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Simple as cake. And
Yeah, because wallpaper, I mean, not wallpaper. When you want to texture a wall, whether it's cardboard or foam or whatever, it's hard to get that level of detail. You know what I'm saying?
oh
like,
yeah.
It looks really rocky, like stonework, and so that's a nice idea. I've never thought of that as textured wallpaper to get that effect.
Oh yeah, and the best thing about it is that you can just go and get as many free samples as you like from your DIY store. You just sort of like tear off pieces, and the smallest bits that you'll be tearing off are more than enough for whatever build you're going to be making. So it's a nice and handy resource. Plus, there's a lot of DIY kind of, you know, and wallpaper kind of websites that will give you out, like they'll mail you free samples as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh, nice.
definitely take advantage of those. If you know anyone who's getting like a wallpaper decoration or whatnot done, just say, oh, hold on, can you get me some free samples as well?
Right.
Because then you save on the postage and packaging as well.
Yep. It's well done. I liked it. It appeals to me. I like the workbench and the tool wall and stuff. It's really well done.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, all the weathering on it is just. And
Sure.
other thing is, it is slightly different from your usual style because this looks quite a lot more like a painting, especially if you see the rusting and the stuff on the saw blades over here.
Yeah, I think the saw blades, I painted them up before I even glued them on. And then I just went over it with oil paints again. So like a lot of the edge highlighting is just white oil paints, because they tend to be, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but they tend to be a lot more of a higher pigment count.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
I rarely use oils.
they're so much more vibrant. So if you want a strong color that's going to last a lot longer, then oil paints is usually the way to go. Plus, when they're better, so much better for painting minute details, because it's going to stay wet on your brush for so much longer. Whereas you'll have noticed yourself, whenever you're trying to paint with a small amount of acrylic paint, it's usually by the time you've dipped it in the pot and you're about to, it's dried up before it even hits the model.
Yeah. It looks heavy too, by the way. I like that part. I don't know what it weighs, but it just looks like if you picked it up, you would have to. So that's a good. It looks like it would thump if you dropped it down.
And you probably get tetanus at the same time.
There's no metal on there. It's mostly like DAS clay and card. In fact, I should also add, the window was given to me as like a free sample from PropFox Terrain, which is Tyler's company, and they've done amazing work on the MDF, and I'm going to be using that in a lot more kind of future builds.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
good.
tighter stuff's great.
I like it.
There's even
Like
a
it,
tiny
like it.
bucket under the sink.
Yeah, I added that. It was originally going to go on the table, and it was going to be like a box of nails, but trying to get a box that was like smaller than that was way too difficult. So I thought, all right, well, I've got to cram it in here somewhere. So I just threw it in the
And
sleeve.
it makes sense there.
Yeah.
What's the big metal chunk with the holes in it? Like it looks like
Muffler.
a big, yeah, exactly, like a big gun muffler or something like that.
Well, you'll get a kick out of this. You know your air fresheners. That's like the nozzle from your room air freshener type thing. I always like pick those off and just chuck them in my bits box. And what I've done is I've just added you know the flyers that you get in your junk mail. I just hole punched that and then just curved it around and glued it on
There you go.
Okay.
to add the
Great.
texture.
So that's what the muffler thing is. Just
Yeah, it's the easiest way to get mufflers done. Because
I mean,
oh my goodness,
the amount of things you managed to do with that hole punch are scary.
I mean that's how I've done the saw plates.
Yeah.
Because they're just made of card as well. That's just card, and then you hole punch around the edges. You know, you just go around one side, the other side, and then you quarter it, you eighth it. So you're just going like 50-50 each time. And that's how you get it so even, because I'm not measuring or anything the such like when it comes to that sort of thing. It's all just kind of freehand. And then you just clip it with some snips after. There's a separate video on that if you're ever interested or so inclined.
Okay, and you mentioned that you've got another build down here. Yes, there it is.
Oh, you spotted it.
Yep. So let's see.
Yeah, I made this one today, and it's my first time in like forever that I was ever using polystyrene.
That's
Really?
great, dude.
I like
That
that.
looks so good.
Yeah, this is like proper industrial sci-fi thingy. Yeah? Kind of reminds me of Ghostbusters for some reason.
For me,
Oh,
I went to like the final scene of Alien
Yeah.
for some reason where Ripley fights the Beast.
Okay. Looks like
That's-
someone could lose an arm in there. Yeah.
oh yeah. I mean, that's you see the hexagonal
Yeah.
part there? That's literally
Bolt.
a nail I found in the street. So that's like an old screw. So that's part of the internal grinding mechanism. And the cog part that's next to it, that was like a spare piece of MDF terrain. In fact, all the walls there, the wall sections, that's all
Okay.
just emptied MDF sprue frames.
Okay, I
So
think
you-
I think I recognize the shape from one of the kits you built.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And this is a Necromunda piece for a Necromunda table.
yeah. It's there is actually rules for it as well, or something
Oh,
that's
nice.
similar.
Yeah.
When I post the video for it, I'll have the links and stuff in the description below.
So you created some interactive rules for the piece?
No, they're actually official rules from GW.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't play Necromunda, but I do know that some war games do have interactive rules for terrain. So that's cool.
Yeah, and the thing is with I think what is it? The rules that they've got, the official ones, are for a trash compactor, but with if you know anything about the lore of Necromunda, they also have like corpse grinding is like the major resource in
Right.
Necromunda
Ew.
because they eat dead people. It's like Soylent Green, effectively.
Oh man.
Yeah, except they don't bother to hide it. It's like here's your weekly ration of corpse starch.
Could
Yes.
you just one thing on the first image again? Is that a little decal? What are the little skull?
This one here, the triangle next to the.
Triangle is what I thought.
Yeah.
That was from a PPE catalog. I literally cut it out the pages of the PPE catalog and then just PVA glued it on. It's the same with the chevrons up on the top as well. So yeah, if you get you can actually just go onto the website for most of your PPE websites, and they will happily give you a free PPE catalog, and you can
That's
just
so
clip
cool,
that
man.
thing to ribbons and get out all these cool warning signs, toilet signs, road signs,
Right.
your hazard chevrons, all sorts. It's just an absolute treasure trove. Same with your toy catalogs. If you're after like logos and things, absolute treasure trove. Just cut them straight out and stick them on
I think you use a lot of those
Brilliant.
for your arcade machines, yeah?
all the time. Yeah. And so yeah, in there, most of the grinding mechanism is the saw blades that you saw earlier before, and the other parts are just like the what is it? It's the like your toothpaste kind of lids. It's those kind of lids that you get, but I just use the ones from tomato puree tubes
Mm-hmm.
because I'm always making up like chilies and such like. So I'm inundated with these lids, so it was nice to actually use them in a build.
Do you ever see the videos on YouTube? Like they're basically big compactors like this, and it's just like videos of people just chucking like bikes and all sorts of stuff into these grinders, and you just like sitting watching like the destruction. And like the weird part of your brain is kind of going like curious about like what it would be like for a person to fall in there. That's how. But
It's the
like
crushing ones, the ones where they put things in crushers that just, I'm just like, oh, I wonder what that would do to my hand.
exactly, it's just like. But this kind of like scratches that itch for me. I need to know no more. Basically.
Yeah. Enough said with the we'll call it rust down in there. That's rust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a healthy amount of rust. It was mostly textured paint. It's still technically drying at the moment, but yeah, a whole lot of textured paint, and then a subtle few notes of red in there as well.
This cracked paint and rust effect looks really good.
How big is your Necromunda table?
I don't have one yet. I'm making
okay.
it. I'm in the process of making tiles and the such like. But what is it? If you saw the cover for that thing, which if someone presses I think in the rules, if someone presses the controls, the cover lifts and the models fall in. So they become rations effectively. On the lid section, you can see it. That's like mosquito netting, and that's made of a fiberglass mesh, same as your kind of scrim tape. And it is absolutely ideal if for making like wire gridding.
Yeah.
You can also use it. I mean, you can see it there. You can see straight into the thing. And it's more than strong enough to hold a model up on as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are great for like floor gridding. For if you want to like turn it at a 45-degree angle, you can use it for chain link fencing as well, for modern kind of builds. So versatile, and it takes paint like a champ. You can see it there. I've painted it with the rusty kind of paint, and it's no issues.
Well done, both of them,
Cheers.
both pieces.
Yeah, beautiful. And this one, especially the weathering, is amazing one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna try and add on some finishing touches and details, because like that's literally started and done today. So it's
wow.
I need to do like a lot more to sort of like bring it up to scratch and add on some extra kind of details here and there.
I would add a handrail on the stairs there, maybe maybe something to just frame that side.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
it looks good. It looks good. I don't play Necromunda, but I love grungy sci-fi looking tables, and that would be perfect on a tabletop.
Thank you.
Well done.
All right, I shall take my leave then and let you go take on the next piece. I'm loving all the contributions that everyone else has been putting in so far. It's incredible work.
Mm-hmm.
So well done, everyone.
Okay, thanks, Stephen. Always a pleasure.
Good speaking with you.
No danger. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, and if you're not subscribed to Earthman Brick yet, go subscribe to Earthman Brick. Watch his
Yeah.
videos.
I
Very
dropped a
good.
little link earlier on there.
Okay, next one up is quest board terrain. So, Kim, if you want to jump in, you
Yeah,
have the link.
get the link here again. Oh, you've got it?
1 sec.
Sorry, I've got it here.
Right.
Wink. Boom.
Okay, and in the meantime, if anyone else has any last minute entries they want to drop in, feel free to throw them in the Google Drive. I'm just going to share the link now.
So these are videos that we're going to get, right?
Yep, they are videos, and Kim is joining us in the chat.
Awesome.
Okay, I think we can bring the
Hello.
first one up.
My good, can you hear me?
We can hear you
Yep.
just fine.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hello. All right, so we got a video, right? Let's see this.
Yeah, I've got 2 short videos and 1 photo that's in there somewhere.
Okay.
It might be at the top.
Oh, I love time lapse. Let's see it.
Okay, so what are we seeing here, Kim?
So the first one is the quicksand. So I did basically a quicksand sand desert terrain,
Ah, okay.
and it was sort of hard to
Oh,
show what
Okay,
would be
Uh,
happening.
sinking down.
Yeah.
Got
Oh,
it.
cool. So it's almost like a timed game where they have to get across in a certain amount of time.
Exactly.
That's
It's-
awesome.
Yeah, it's partially time and partially there's a little bit of a seismic disturbance. So that's their cue. Here's the seismic disturbance. You better move because there's going to be 1 level less. And the next time it comes up, there's going to be 1 level less. And they have to get to the centerpiece of the temple before
Mhm.
that happens.
Okay,
Or
it's really good.
The next thing is what happens if they don't.
Okay, bringing up the next thing.
There should be another. I don't know if that's playing yet.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah. So if they're caught out on the sand, that's what happens to them if
This-
they're caught out on the sand.
And they're covered with sand, right?
Yeah, they basically turn into either an elemental or just basically a monster, and then they'll attack anyone who hasn't been turned. Then they'll attack.
Oh,
That's
That
brilliant.
is awesome. I have never seen that. Is very cool. I thought the first video, I thought, oh, they filmed it just showing how it breaks down and you could carry it and take it home or whatever. But then when you said quicksand, it hit me. And that is a very cool terrain-based trap.
Mhm.
I like that.
yeah, it sounds like there's a whole story behind it and setup and everything. It's definitely well thought out. And you
Yeah,
have,
I-
yes, one more picture down here.
Let's
Yeah,
see
I
the
didn't finish
photo,
my
yeah.
video in time, so I'll have to get that out.
So these are all the pieces that you would do.
Right. Yep. Those are that's because if you have the whole party,
Right.
they have different, and they have more time. So first the outcroppings disappear, and you have the first level, the second level, and maybe the third level for them to finally get out. So once they're completely covered, then they'll turn into the creature, but they have a couple of levels before they get to that.
So these cups are like a timer. So first you put down the small cup, you put the miniature in the small cup, and then you put the miniature in the larger cup until they get the third one.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
they have
Well, have you played this with your players yet?
No, this is it's part of an ongoing story. I haven't gotten a chance to put this out yet, but that's how I plan for it to go.
All right. Well, hopefully your players aren't watching this.
No, I don't think so. I think they might have come last week, but I don't think they're here this week.
How do they? How are you like it? 1, 2, 3. Let's say you have a six party members, and they all get they all get in the sand, how do they get out of it? How do they
It's well, I mean, it can be it's somewhat of a dispel magic, or it could be a remove curse. I mean, if
Got
there's someone has that, or someone can pull them out if they have rope. If they get pulled out before they get completely covered, they can avoid it.
Got
And yeah. And there is another character in this. There's another NPC within this who also can
help
make that determination.
That is very, very cool. I think that I love it. I love the idea of disappearing terrain that gets smaller and the characters are having to hustle.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, the whole
Thank you.
concept of the terrain moving, or it's a different level of interaction.
Right.
Yeah. And I had to do the clips. I was trying to figure out how to show it in the photos, and I really couldn't because it'd just be too many.
Sure.
So
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
definitely bonus points for stop motion for sure.
Yeah, that was impressive. That made me laugh. Once I
Okay.
realized what it was, I was like, yes, that's awesome.
yeah, thank you.
This was a brilliant idea, Kim. Awesome work.
Thank you.
And
Hoping
yeah,
I'm just saying, I hope I can get my video out this week. I'm hoping.
Make
Yeah.
sure to post a link over in Discord and stuff like that so everyone can see.
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
Good talking with you. Nice job.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Kim, Questboard Terrain, awesome work, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very inventive. I like it.
Awesome.
Okay, so the majority, and yeah, okay, I think we're at the end of the list for today, unless there's
Okay.
anything else. And we've got Crystal Scatter Terrain from a certain Michael Patterson. Who the hell is that?
Yeah, I mean, it was you convinced me that this could be used as dangerous scatter terrain. So I hadn't done any dangerous scatter terrain, so I just threw it in because Carl convinced me that it was.
But
dangerous scatter terrain.
it's pointy, it's glowing. Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt someone.
Well, I did look up this afternoon. There is someone who's done crystal caverns terrain where you're supposed to go and mine a certain crystal. And basically, there's a whole bunch of treacherous elements like falling crystals from the ceiling, this kind of stuff. So you can definitely come up with your own set of dangers around crystal scatter terrain. So, yeah. Also, it's quite dangerous because, I mean, if I left that on my kitchen floor by accident,
Yeah,
and
you
was walking
would
through the
absolutely step on
house,
that. Yeah.
yeah, it's almost as bad as Lego.
Those are resin, right?
Yeah, that's just epoxy resin and oh yeah, some of these little lights that I have
yes.
I
here.
was wondering how you got the color. Yeah.
No, the resin's colored.
Those are just standard LEDs then. Okay.
Well, I mean, some of the LEDs are colored as well, but actually, what works best is the white light.
White. Yeah.
Just with the colored resin, epoxy resin.
What is that you're holding there? Where do you get those?
These are awesome, and like I think that so many people will come up with great ideas. These are for like in nightclubs. Like they stick them to the bottom of glasses,
The bottom of the glass.
or bottles, and like you see the whole row of the bottles, and they're all glowing.
Yeah.
So and like they're pretty disposable. You can change the batteries, but they last for about 12 hours. So that's what, like 2 D&D sessions for one, if you don't want to change the batteries and then just throw it away, but you can change the batteries.
And you just got those from a pub or a
Amazon. So just type in glowing coasters.
Glow coasters. Okay.
Mhm. They
Very
were
cool.
cheap.
Okay, Earthman Brick asked you, did you learn to make those blue crystals from watching Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
This is probably, I think that's probably how they actually made it in the show. They probably made the crystals out of some kind of resin like that, right?
Yeah, or either that or some kind of
sugar,
tinted
maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you touch a glowing crystal, something would happen, I'd imagine. Yes, scatter terrain, I'm pretty sure something would. Dirty basement terrain could be radioactive crystals. Campaign terrain, it could be arcing electricity between them. Yeah, I think everyone's coming out with ideas about how to make the crystals dangerous.
Exactly. I
That was
mean,
some good. That was
with
some
a-
good stuff today.
yeah,
Oh
Carl.
yeah, for sure.
I think the last time I did this with you, it's very inspiring. Michael was asking me earlier, why have I stopped making terrain? I do still make terrain. It's not as what I would want to share because sometimes it's not as good a quality, but I am getting back to terrain. As soon as I get I have an eye problem that's going to be fixed next month, and as soon as I get it fixed, I'm anxious to get back. So these things inspire me, and saw some really cool stuff today that I miss it. Miss making terrain.
almost there. I think from what you mentioned, like that, an operation like that, you can see pretty quick results, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So like,
Yep.
touching all the wood for you, man.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you. It's called a Weiss ring, and it happens to us when we get older, and it's part of the retina just comes off, and it's in my right eye, and it stays in my right eye in the field of vision, and it just makes it hard to want to do anything,
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not nervous at all because I've seen enough videos. They don't cut into my eye or anything. It's just they're just gonna shoot this piece with a laser and vaporize it, and hopefully it'll be all better and I can get back to making terrain, and then I can submit some stuff, Carl.
Oh yeah.
As long as Earthman Brick didn't build a hospital, you're fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, give him 5 minutes. He'll probably he'll probably finish too by then. But yeah, Jim, best of luck with that, and we really can't wait to see you making stuff and posting videos again.
I appreciate that.
100%.
Now, speaking of which,
Actually, just I should share your channel here.
oh yeah, definitely.
A link.
Throw in a link. I mean, the links in the title are
Oh, to the
clickable and
okay.
everything, but go ahead, throw in a link.
Okay, cool.
So, Jim, do you have any suggestions for team for our next challenge?
Man, you're gonna put me on the spot just like that.
Yep.
All right, I tell you what, I do have some ideas or an idea. So here's the thing: whether you're playing a role-playing game or a war game, you're usually limited to, let's just say 3 feet by 3 feet. All right.
Mhm.
So imagine a 3 foot square by 3 foot square area that you are limited to.
Okay.
Put a point in the center where the X's would cross, right? Draw the diagonal and put it in the center, right? Whenever I make terrain for my own war games, usually with war games, there's like a central objective of some sort, right?
I'm with you so far. Yeah.
So I got an idea from that last gentleman that had the interactive meat grinder.
Okay. Yeah.
I would like to see what people can come up with for an objective piece. And by an objective, this would be a piece that would be sort of in the center of the table. It draws the eye. The player or the players are going to know there's something about this piece, right? But what could it be? What could it be that when a miniature touches it or is placed on it, what could happen? It doesn't need to be like real high tech. Like it doesn't need to have electronics or gear, but you could even just go so far as to replace it with something like the one with Lisa's tile that became the trapper, right?
Okay. Yeah, I get you.
She had a real tile, and then when the player steps on it, she just takes it and puts the trapper on it. So it could be 1 or 2 pieces that you make, but I would be curious to see, I would suggest a contest or a challenge to see what kind of interactive terrain piece you could come up with for the center of a table.
All right.
that draws the player's eyes.
I
Change the-
like the sound of that. So it could be something as simple as we're saying, like it's a tile, and
And
suddenly
then it becomes something else.
it's not a tile. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be super high tech. There's nothing wrong with the GM or the player saying, okay, when a miniature touches this or pushes a button or steps here or whatever, something happens. And then you have to document that so that it's fair, right? I mean, you don't want to make it up as you go. You want to let the players know. If it's a war game, they need to know sort of ahead of time. If it's an RPG, it needs to be known that there's something going on here. You just won't know what it is until you go play with it and poke at it and poke the bear kind of thing.
Okay. So
And it doesn't have to be negative, right? It doesn't have to be like deadly.
Mhm.
Right?
So
It
what's
could
the what's the tagline? How do we condense it into a single tagline phrase for the challenge?
call it well, I would just call it interactive terrain, but all terrain is sort of interactive. How about reactive terrain?
Ooh,
Reactive
that's cool.
terrain.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. That makes
So
sense.
it's going to react when something happens, whether it's a touch or a placement, or maybe you fire a spell at it. I don't know, but explain what it causes it to react and do something.
Okay, so basically what we're saying is we might not necessarily want to go into okay, create rules for it, but definitely put in some basic if this happens, then that happens.
Yeah, just if
All right.
then that if this happens, and it could be one piece that just moves or something changes on it, or it could be like you say, you take it and then you put something else there that it becomes something, right? Doesn't have to be, you don't need any kind of mechanical, know-how to do something like that. It's just replace it.
You're just making the electronics sad now.
Yeah.
It's okay, David. You can still use magnets and
It-
laser to
James,
points and
James
stuff.
isn't saying we're not allowed to put terrain or electronics into it.
Put
We're allowed
electronics
to.
in it, maybe it shoots at the actual player, that triggers it, as a water gun.
No, that would be so much fun.
Let me tell you a secret. I would never do this because unless I really, really knew my players well, but I have always thought it would be really cool to have a piece of terrain that destroyed a miniature.
I love that idea. Like that conversation has come up before.
Yeah,
like,
it has a couple of
Oh
times.
yeah. I've talked to the other GMs about it. I'm like, have you ever just wanted to take a hammer and just smash like a miniature? And they're like, yeah, I want to do that. But we can't because the player would go,
I spent
like-
3 weeks painting
that
model.
But you could have a rule. The GM says, man, listen, if your character dies, however your character dies, that's how the miniature's going to die. So you could impale it, smash it, whatever, crush it. No, we can't do that. We like our players. We want them to come back to our table.
Yeah, especially if they've got some.
There's a way. There's a way.
$120 custom made resin miniature. You do not want to do that.
There's a great way when they sit down at your table to play. You hand them a piece of paper that gives you, you sign away your rights to anything that happens at the table.
Exactly. Legal disclaimers all the way.
Illegal. There you go.
I'm sure this will work fine. But yeah, for this one, we're just going with reactive, not necessarily with destroying miniatures. Okay.
Yeah, reactive terrain. Let's call it that.
All right. So, Mike, we'll have it over on your channel next.
That'd be great. Yep, no problem.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll probably start setting up the streams and the stuff later this week then.
Yeah.
Cool.
And let me let me know when. I'd love to come back and see it.
Okay. Possibly. I think
A month.
A month. Let's do a month and a half on this one because we need to build 2 pieces. Okay.
Okay, so it's the 5th of Feb now. So what maybe it would be, if we're going for Sunday again, it'd be either the 12th or the 19th of March.
12th or 19th of March. Let's do it on the 12th.
There we go.
Okay.
12th of March.
Sounds good.
Okay, and we're sorted. Okay, let me just check if there are any other entries that snuck in. And I think we're good.
Awesome work, by the way, everyone in the chat. Really, really cool builds.
12th of
Once
March.
again.
Yes, Stephen, this year. Okay, so thanks everyone for joining us. Jim, thanks again for being here. It was great to have you along. And
Yeah, thank you for inviting
thanks,
me.
Michael. So,
Cheers, buddy.
good night, everyone, and see you next week with the Dungeon Minister. Okay, great week, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.